How's it going, everyone? It is Juvia. We're back with another episode of the Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest anime. This is episode 8. And this episode covers chapters 25 through 28 of the Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest manga. It did skip over a bonus chapter this time, which is kind of interesting because we adapted the bonus chapter from a few episodes ago, and that was actually incorporated into the episode. And this bonus chapter is only like 4 pages long, so it could have easily made it into the episode. I mean, what's to say that it doesn't show up next episode? Kind of less hopeful of that because I don't think it would exactly make sense if you put it in the next episode because of the contents of this bonus chapter having to do with like relationships, and this episode was very much focused on that. And there was one part of the chapter that was removed this episode, that being a dinner that they have with everyone in the brand new town along with Juvia, and this is where you get a pretty infamous panel of Juvia holding a sign saying "Eat me." This was not animated in any way, and it would have been cool just to see them all having a nice dinner together because it looks so fun, this panel, but sadly we did not get it. So talking about the episode itself, this is maybe one of my favorite episodes of the anime so far. It's just so fun, and there's so many little moments that I love about this episode. So a good portion of this episode focuses around Fairy Nail, which you got a little bit of them last episode, but you get the rest of them this episode. It's just so fun to see like alternate versions of our main characters, because yes, they aren't, the exact same characters, but I mean, they dang well look exactly the same. I love how everyone looks at the Fairy Nail members and is like referencing themselves. Like Lucy sees the Fairy Nail version of Natsu and he's being a bully to that version of Lucy. She straight up looks at her version of Natsu and just says, "Stop bullying me." Like, I love that they're just like referring like Natsu somehow causing this problem, even though it's not him. It's a different guy that looks like him. Probably my favorite gag out of all of it was when they said that the Fairy Nail version of Gray is a stripper, and Gray's like, "Oh, that's not me at all," and just everyone literally looks at him like, "Gray, that is so spot on to you." And just that part of the episode is just so fun, I guess, just to see what like alternate versions of each of these people look like, what they're doing with their lives, just how different that guild is compared to the Fairy Tale Guild, because it's an actor slash kind of like arts guild, and obviously they don't give any explanation for it. Like, is this just a group of people that are disguising as like the Fairy Tale members because they're notable and they just like change their appearance to look like them, kind of similar to like in One Piece there's like that fake Straw Hat crew that was disguising themselves as the real Straw Hat crew. Fairy Nail never gets explained, but I don't think it entirely needs to. Like, why does this guild exist? And another decent portion of this episode focuses on Gray and the Fairy Nail version of Juvia. And I think that portion of the episode is freaking beautiful, just because it gets, honestly, Gray to finally, make up his mind as to what he's doing about Juvia. And I think it's kind of interesting to see his thoughts on the relationship, because obviously like at the end of Fairy Tale it really kind of makes it seem like they're going to be together because he kind of claims Juvia as his. But even into 100 Year Quest, it doesn't seem like he fully claimed Juvia as his. And Gray honestly does really look down on himself to think that he's not worthy of Juvia and that he needs to become a stronger man to, be with her. But I do actually quite love that this episode kind of gives him a resolve as to what he wants to be and what he needs to be to eventually be with Juvia. And kind of interesting that even outside of that conversation, like when he's on the train with everyone, he's still thinking about having a relationship with Juvia. Some other portions of this episode that I really like. I love that Lucy gets a brand new outfit here with the tracksuit. And also Wendy also has the same tracksuit. Kind of hilarious that Fairy Tale has its own branded tracksuits. Is this the same tracksuit that Lucy had like when she was being an actor in like one of the filler episodes? because I at least know she wore a tracksuit similar to this in the past. Also love that Natsu, when he gets motion sick on a train, has to put his head on Lucy's lap. It's kind of a reoccurring thing, because I know he's done that in the past. I know he didn't initially do it, but kind of after a certain level with Lucy, he definitely started doing that, and she's kind of his caretaker when they're on a mode of transportation. Also kind of love that she was kind of being mean to him a little bit, because he burned her clothes, and obviously the train starts going off, and she kind of is making him almost more motion sick and making him say he's sorry. In the end portion of this episode is showcasing the Wood Dragon God and also the Church of the White Mage, and this is kind of weirdly nostalgic for me, because this was one of the first chapters I kind of covered when I was doing YouTube, which was just at the start of the Battle of Fairy Tail 2.0, because I remember that moment in the manga and I was like, dude, I gotta make a video about this, which that video probably sucks now, but kind of cool that we're like actually at that point, and there's gonna be a lot of cool moments that are gonna be in that fight that we'll be covering here again. Overall, this is honestly one of my favorite episodes of 100-Year Quest that we've had so far. Obviously not much fights or anything happen in this episode. It's basically just slice of life stuff, but it's very fun to get some of these moments. So what are your guys' thoughts on this episode? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.